Welcome back to the Angry Man podcast with Jason and Greg. Jay, what's going on, man?
What's happening, man? Long work day, right?
I know, man. Long work day. Forgive us, folks. We were supposed to start at 7:50. Unfortunately, we were having some technical difficulties, but we are up and running. Hopefully, the phone lines will be running tonight. Guys, we just wanted to go ahead and give like some bonus content. We hadn't had the opportunity to have Jason on because Jason was out last weekend, so he hasn't been on live in like what, Jay, about
a week and a half.
Almost 2 weeks now. Yeah, man. Yeah. So what we got in the chat, man? Salute Rayon, salute 76 Mark, salute. What's going on? Heaven Williams, salute. All right, man. So we've been dropping some videos this week. We got some pushback from some certain people and want to get on real quick, Jay, kind of talk about some of the stuff we didn't have on. Benai, what's up? Kind of want to talk about that, man. And I think, you know, we're gonna start early tonight. We're gonna start the phone lines jumping early tonight. Now, Jay, I don't know exactly if you're gonna be able to hear it or not. Hopefully you will be able to hear it, but we're gonna kick it off. We're gonna kick it off tonight. So I just realized, man, that the title in this thing is not the same title that we had in there before. Something's changed with that. So
technical difficulties, so we apologize, folks.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So one of the videos that we did was about Timothy Bradley, bro. And Tim Bradley, you know, I don't know what's going on with Tim Bradley, man. It seems like his hate for the PBC has gotten to a level, bro, that is it's gotten absurd. I mean, and everything that comes out of Tim Bradley's mouth relative to anybody associated with the PBC is negative. It doesn't matter what it is. If it can be Errol Spence, it can be you know, Tank Davis or anybody else. Now he's a company man, and I totally understand that. You're a company man, you got to sell your company, but sell the events that what's going on, bro?
No, I was just saying, damn, like, but you don't got to go that hard for the company.
Oh, yeah, exactly right. You are a company man, sell the product that your company is selling, right? Promote the product that your company is selling. And but you don't have to, that's the problem, man, with a lot of these guys, man. They tear down. Shannon Sharp is somebody who I feel does this as well. You tear down to try to make your point. You can make your point and elevate and promote what you're doing without tearing down somebody else. Now, he claims that he has issues with Tank Davis, and it's because whatever issues that Tank has. I really believe that the issue that he had with Tank Davis is simple. It is Tank shitted on his Hall of Fame bid. Now, I don't believe Tim Bradley is a Hall of Famer.
I don't either. We talked about that a few videos back about that.
And I'd be surprised if anybody in our chat currently believes that Tim Bradley is a Hall of Famer. Brandon House, salute, bro. Salute from Uppercuts. But hey, Brandon, what's going on with you, bro? What's going on?
Going in Uppercuts boxing.
I hear Chicken Talk is my boy. What up, though? What's up, Chicken Talk? C. Dewberry, what's going on with you? Yeah, I think Tank shitted on that boy, man, and he took that shit personally.
He hurt his feelings.
Exactly. What's your thoughts on that, man? Because I truly do believe he shitted on him and his feelings are hurt.
See, with Tim, I've noticed one thing with Tim, the common denominator of the Tim Bradley hate has been anyone associated with PBC or TMT. He hated on Floyd. He ducked Errol Spence and hated on Spence. And now it's Tank's turn. So it's like, how you gonna say it's not personal, but then throw all personal jabs at Tank? That makes no sense to me. You know, it just, he went to the place where I'm like, dude, you shouldn't have gone there. Wasn't necessary. But he's not a Hall of Famer to me at all. He got a win over Pacquiao. Definitely a very questionable win over Pacquiao.
Questionable.
Marquez.
Definitely.
You know, but no one was like, oh, we got to see that Tim Bradley fight. Or he just knocked down a whole bunch of monsters in every division. That wasn't it.
Exactly. I think Provodnikov fried those brains. I think his brain cells have not been the same since.
Yeah.
Provodnikov, man, he was putting it on Tim, but Tim, he had Tim in there, man.
He said he was
He was
not.
gonna
He said
shake
he
the
remember
leg.
what from round 5 all the way down to the decision to the end. He would just.
Yeah.
I give him credit for toughing it out, but I like boxers. I like the sweet science. I don't like getting hit. Boxers that can make you miss and make you pay. Those ones I like. That's how my dad boxed when he was in the Marines, and how he taught me and how he trained some of his fighters. So that just came my DNA. I watch a slugfest, but I'm not gonna be highly on because they're taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, man. I mean, when you think about Tim, I'm not gonna shit on his career. I thought Tim had a decent career, but Hall of Fame career, that's not what he had.
Nah,
And
wasn't Hall of Fame.
going after Tank Davis about something that's personal, man. At the end of the day, you're an ESPN analyst. My preference from an ESPN analyst, somebody who should be somewhat of a, I don't know, an independent, unbiased entity. I want to hear you break down fighters. I want to hear you break down fights. I don't want to hear you get personal. I don't really care if you really like this guy, you don't like him. Who cares? Break down the fighter, break down the fights. If you believe that, you knew that Tank was gonna have that level of performance and you feel like Tank is not fighting the level of competition that he should be fighting, I ain't got no problem with that. A lot of us have questioned Tank's competition, even the ones that support him. Even Jason, you're the biggest Tank homer I've ever seen in my life. And you've questioned to some extent his resume. But at the same time, I feel like Tank is also getting ready to make that next step. And so if you want to make that, if you want to say that about Tank, have no problem with that. If you want to say, you feel like Tank is limited, have no problem with that. I may disagree, but I have no problem with that. We start talking about a man as a piece of shit based off of something that you don't really have any kind of real intimate knowledge about. I do have an issue with that.
I mean, he went on. Remember also when he was talking about saying that Spence was running from Bud. I mean, he talking, oh, well, Bud had 20 million. I'm like, Tim, get at least some of the rumors right. It wasn't 20 million, it's supposed to be 25 million a piece from some hedge fund.
Yeah, we got a transition to that, man. And shout out to my boy Tunnel Vision, man. Oh, I love to see Tunnel Vision in the comment section because he's always coming with some real logical stuff. Even if I disagree, man, I always feel like, man, that was a good point. So Tim Bradley talking about Errol Spence, saying Errol Spence is running from Terence Crawford. Now,
and
the
Tim
thing
ran
about
from both of them.
Ran from both of who?
He ran from Bud and Spence.
Who ran from Bud and Spence?
Tim.
Tim. Yeah. So my thing with Tim is clear that Tim has a bias associated with Errol Spence. That's clear as day. We know that Tim Bradley, and this is the thing that kills me about Tim Bradley, and I always go back to this. Tim Bradley co-signed Terence Crawford saying that there is no other side of the street. When it was brought up in an interview that Errol Spence said that when his opportunity came up to fight Tim Bradley did not take the fight. He went a different direction. Tim Bradley then states that we weren't doing business with those guys at that point. Since when does Top Rank do business with PBC? Okay, if you're going to make that comment, then there's another side of the street. The fuck are you talking about? So he lost a lot of credibility with me just in that, Jason, with saying making those comments. So he has a clear interest in Terence Crawford, but he doesn't say anything. He calls the fact that Errol Spence is going to fight Keith Thurman a money grab. Mm-hmm. But if Tim Bradley was in the same position, what would he do? Because Tim didn't make a whole lot of money in his career. If you believe Tim Bradley was in the same position, Jay, do you think that he would take that opportunity if it was a money grab?
Hell yeah, he would.
I absolutely think he would take that in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. But then he does not say anything about Terence Crawford taking on David Avanesian for a supposed $10 million. That wasn't a money grab. You cannot call out one and not call out the other. And that's the problem that I had with Tim Bradley. He's saying Errol Spence is running, but we already know that Terence Crawford is the one that walked away from the negotiation table. What sense does that make?
Exactly. It makes no sense whatsoever.
I struggle with Tim Bradley's logic, bro. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I'm just that's what I was going to. His lack of logic, and his constant switching it up just drives me crazy, man. I hate that shit. Just stay even about it. If you just stand on what you said.
Stand on it.
Just stand on it. Take accountability for it. Like, hey, I said this, and then the dude comes out and has a great fight. Oh, he has a great fight. He proved me wrong. I was wrong on that. Why is that so hard? But it's like he taking that company man shit too far. Him, Max, and even it hurts me because even Dre, even Ward is doing the shit too at times.
Yeah, Ward a company man too. When Ward first went over there, man, it felt like Ward was trying to maintain himself. Salute Omega Red, salute. But I feel like at some point, man, he lost himself over there at ESPN, man. He became a company man, and now he's promoting things that he shouldn't promote. Now, Dre is nowhere near Tim Bradley.
Hell no. And Dre is deserving of being in the Hall of Fame as well, based on
absolutely
his career, easily.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I knew he was first ballot.
Absolutely. I definitely have no issue with Andre Ward being in there, but Tim Bradley, absolutely have an issue with him being in there. Now, let's make a quick transition because all this is kind of tied together, right? Steven Espinosa. Guys, we got 54 people in the building. If you get opportunity, please hit the like button. And if you don't like the content, hit the dislike, but make sure that you interact with the content because it helps people find this channel. And also, subscribe to the channel. We always dropping content. Jason, we've been talking about this for a long time. I mean, months and months. I'm talking about months ago. Anybody that's been subscribed to this channel for months, they've heard this come out of my mouth specifically. Why on earth would any entity give a boxer who has no business acumen, no experience in business, no experience running a promotion, a fighter that has never put any asses in seats, give them the ability to control expenses? What fucking sense does that make? That's like allowing a patient to come in and run the ER. Like, why would you do that? For what reason? You have no experience in doing any of this. So it's interesting because a lot of people that are Terence Crawford fans, when they heard that, for whatever reason, Jay, they heard something completely different. They heard that Errol Spence tried to finesse Terence Crawford. So go ahead and speak to that, bro, because I don't understand that logic at all. And you all in the chat, man, help me understand it because I don't get it.
Bro, there's no logic in that. That's the thing. That's why I struggle to understand it, just like you struggle to understand it, because I'm real big being logical and analytical on things, and it has to make sense. With this entity, AB really put it out there saying that, hey, PBC want me to fight Godzilla and King Kong to earn this money. Over at BLK, I can fight anybody. He can fight you and me.
We see who he about to fight right now. Lundy. I DM AB. See if I get on that card, man. Maybe I can make $20,000. I can go a few rounds. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So it's interesting that people got different things from that. It's always been clear to me that Terence Crawford was the issue, and Terence Crawford, there's something fundamentally is going to have to change in terms of the way that they negotiated that fight, and I totally get that. Because you could see the level of frustration in Steven Espinosa's face. He was frustrated, and I think they all changed the deal because at the end of the day, that 65-35 split, that's going to stand, if not get worse. And nobody's going to give Terence Crawford control over the promotion. Again, I'm going to say this again. I've said it before. Bosses cut checks. They don't ask for checks. How the fuck are you going to control the promotion and you ain't putting up no money? I have never heard of it. Like, Ryan and I, we started business.
Greg, though, to that point real quick that you just made, to that point you're about to make, it's like people saying, well, Bud can't front the money for himself. I thought he was a boss.
What do you mean? I've never heard anybody. So you don't think Floyd Mayweather, when he started Mayweather Promotions and they transitioned from Golden Boy Promotion and they were running their own entity, that promotional company was putting up money too. You put up money to cover the upfront expenses to make the money on the back end. So Floyd was making the money as both the promoter and the fighter. The hell are you talking about? You can absolutely do that. Jay, 17 years in business. Ryan and I have started a number of businesses on our own. And we've fronted money and we haven't had the money. Sometimes we were just the idea guys. And one thing I do know, the man or woman with the money, putting up the money, they run it. So if you're the ideal guy, you come along and you say, well, hey, so-and-so, can you put up so-and-so amount of money? And they put up the money, you can suggest, but at the end of the day, the person that's putting up the money, those are the ones that are actually controlling everything. So if you ain't putting up no money, you can't ask for control. I'm not sure what's going on with Lil Buddy. And you know what? There was somebody in the chat or in the comment section. They were calling Terence Crawford B-side. I may start to refer to him as B-side from here on out. And I don't like disrespecting fighters, but man, this guy he's reached a new level of delusion, bro.
That's the thing.
Delusion.
That's the thing. People think that we hate on Bud and everything. It's like we like Bud as a fighter. We respect what he does in the ring. It's just what he's doing outside the ring for this next fight with Spence. We don't get down with that. And even Spence said it at the Frank Martin fight. He was like, look, absolutely. He didn't like how Bud did it. He's like, if he want to get that money, he's like, he could have told me. You know, I was like, I ain't stopping anyone from getting that money. A quick, easy fight. Go right ahead. Do it.
Yeah, go do your thing.
You know, but you can't say you want transparency and then you do some backdoor shit like that. It doesn't make sense to me. And 7-6 Mark, you said curious on YouTube guys going at it. I mean, it's entertainment. It's just entertainment. I mean, hell, I'll get in there. I get in there. Oh. Like, I have to be the big gloves though. Got to give me big gloves and the headgear.
So here's my take on that. 76 Mark. And I'm going to put the names out there because I have no fear. Because I believe everybody's talking about Blue Blood Sports TV and Manager Marty. Now, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. At the end of the day, controversy sells. And I think that the going back and forth helps to get clicks, get likes, get subs. Now, we are not innocent of calling out Blue Blood ourselves. We called out Blue Blood as well for some statements that he made in regards to black folks hating themselves if they're not supporting Terence Crawford, because I found that fundamentally flawed.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Blue Blood is one of the loudest voices currently in boxing and relative to YouTube. And we know the other loud voices, Ego, Aki TV, Dante Boxing Nation. They're some of the loudest voices. So when you hear a loud voice making those types of comments, even though our voice is not as loud, I'm going to counter that. But at the same time, and I know Manager Marty had his issues with Blue Blood, and I think those issues were legitimate. I think the things that he pointed out were legitimate. But I think at a certain point, it's time to move on. It's time to go to something else. And I think at the end of the day, as long as you are a channel that's putting out consistent content, you are a channel that you have integrity. You're not putting out clickbait. You're putting out, and sometimes the stuff that you put out, it may be like a specific topic, but it's your spin on it, whatever. But you're not putting out clickbait. You're not making it seem like a fighter says something that they didn't say. Those types of things. Your channel will grow. You will be successful. So that's my take on it. I think Manager Marty should just let it go and just keep it a buck and keep it moving.
Yeah. I think Manager Marty is upset because, you know, he played the clip that a lot of people, some reference, and you and I talked about it, you know, where he was on the panel on Monty Brown TV and Blue Blood was there, and Blue Blood said, you know, Manager Marty, send me a link to your next live. I'll be on your live. You know, so Manager Marty took that and ran with that and set up a live. He said he sent the link to Blue Blood and everything. Blue Blood didn't show up. Then Manager Marty just posted something earlier today with receipts showing that Blue Blood went on his own live later on, kind of refuting Manager Marty and shit like that. So I'm just like, it don't make sense, man. It's just like, you're gonna say you're gonna do something, then do it, you know. But me and you were talking offline earlier, you know, Blue Blood is massive in the boxing and YouTube game. He's been doing this for years. He's massive. So, you know, maybe someone his size, why would he talk to someone at Manager Marty's level or our level, or someone like a smaller channel, you know? But just don't say you're gonna do something just to say it. You know what I'm saying? Just let it go, man. You're bigger than that.
You make a star. Salute. I'm gonna tell you something, guys. And I just saw
he did bring it on that Casamigos.
Hey, Yeah, 76. He blamed it on Casamigos. What?
No, that's what Blue Blood said. That's why he said what he said, talking about he'll go on the live, just send me the link out going on. He said I had too much Casamigos.
Oh, okay. Listen, at the end of the day, Blue Blood Sports TV is not going to show up to Manager Marty's live. He's just not going to do that. Mm-mm. And the reason why is that he's not going to bring any shine to Manager Marty. It's as simple as that. And the guys, I could tell you, we have had people. I don't want to say the channel's name. We have had channels, large channels, reach out directly to us to join their channel in a live, on a panel, whatever, and it didn't materialize. And yeah. For more than likely, it's not going to materialize, right? A couple of them I'm thinking that's popped up in my mind that have reached out. But yeah, I mean, for me, just we do our thing, and and it's going to end up being what it's going to be, and we're going to be happy with whatever it is that we do, period. And that's what it is. We're going to keep putting out our content, and hopefully people like it. And those who don't, then they don't. Now, personally, from a Blue Blood perspective, again, I don't know Blue Blood. I ain't got no beef with Blue Blood, but I do not like some of the things that Blue Blood has done recently, talking down on people on his live. Some of the things he said in the past, I think when he had AB on, he insinuated as though AB was giving him some information that was inside, or at least saying some information that was inside that Blue Blood was also privy to. I don't think that's the case. If Blue Blood was as privy to information as he tried to make it seem, then you would actually hear him release pay-per-view numbers. You would hear him dispute pay-per-view numbers. You would all of that. And so I think he is aligned with BLK Prime. I do not believe that he has any kind of ownership stake. He's just somebody that maybe has some kind of paid partnership. That's it. And so those are the things that I had problems with. And again, a lot of people had problems with him saying that he messed up the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. I don't think he did, because I don't think he has that level of power. And it was clear after the Terence Crawford talk that he had already been talking to BLK Prime. So Blue really didn't have anything to do with it. And I think that's why people just kind of started souring on Blue Blood. And then he started kind of switching positions once he started getting affiliated with BLK Prime. And I understand all of that. And I think that's a legitimate point.
Yeah. I mean, he blew up that whole 7-Eleven meeting with Bud to a whole nother level. That really spawned a bunch more clicks and views on his page, big time on that. You know, I agree with you. I don't like him just, talking down to other people for no reason. Talking about if you don't support Bud, you're not black and shit like that. That's not cool. That's not cool at all.
That's not cool at all. Hey, we got 95 people in the building, 31 likes. If you get the opportunity, please hit the like button, smash that like button on the way in. Helps people find this content. And if you don't like it, then hit the dislike button. That's fine as well. But make sure that you engage with the content. And by the way, go subscribe to the channel. I want to give some shots out really quickly to Rock Dog Interactive, as well as Black Father Figures. I gotta get the website. Black Father Figures, man, they're doing great work, and they have merchandise. They're tied to AM Sports Media, so guys, go support. And I will put the link in the chat as soon as I get the opportunity to. Yeah,
you must give him that big gulp and a Slurpee, huh, Jason? No, Jason, he said, Bud bought Blue Blood a Slurpee, and his tune changed.
Exactly. And B-Dog is saying he wanted final say on expenses. Yeah, that's unheard of for a fighter that is not also the promoter of the event, right? Putting up money. That is unheard of. Like, you're not going to get the opportunity to do that. I mean, it's just as simple as that. Ohio Style Lyrics, what's going on with you, man? What's up? So Jay, what else do we want to touch on tonight, man? I mean,
very quickly. I was looking in the chat and people talking about, if Bud signed or agreed to anything. Bud said out of his own mouth he agreed to everything that was sent to him, but he didn't sign. So those are his own words. And if you go through the timeline of all Bud's videos that he actually started doing on his own, you can see a contradiction in every video. Easily from himself. No one else is putting words in his mouth. He's out there willingly telling you this and then switching it up. Sometimes even contradicting himself in the same video several times.
Exactly.
So I mean, that's why I don't take Bud business too highly, because he's been contradicting himself a lot, and he's doing it willingly. No one's like baiting him or anything. He's doing this himself. You know, so I mean, and then people that have a problem with Spence fighting Thurman, but didn't have a problem with Bud fighting David Avenesian.
I was just about to go there, Jay, because we're getting a lot of comments in the comment section in regards to Errol Spence fighting Keith Thurman at 154 pounds. You're getting the comments from, Terence Crawford supporters saying nobody wants to see that fight. How is it that he's defending his mandatory at 154 pounds? And this is what I don't get. And I said this in one of the videos. So at the end of the day, and the other thing is he lied. He lied. He said he was never going to fight him. Well, that was when he wasn't being mandated to fight him. Now that he's mandated to fight him, what do you want him to do? Get stripped? If he gets stripped, then you say he doesn't fight his mandatories. So then that's your next argument. Yeah. So he can never win really in this situation, Jay. And that's part of the issue that I have. But then when you think about Keith Thurman and the fact that, Errol Spence has figured out a way to not only keep his title, but satisfy his mandatory, to me, that's brilliant. And people are upset about this fight. But number one, it lines the pockets of both Errol Spence and Keith Thurman. I think both of them are happy with that, specifically Keith Thurman, because he probably would have been forced into a purse split if they could not agree on terms. So that's good for Thurman. But not only that, it gives him the opportunity, Jay, to spin the block. He gets to hold on to his titles and spin the block. Now, you start to hear people talking about he's a liar. He said he was going to spin the block. He said he would spin the block. He didn't say he was going to spin the block immediately. So hold on. Let me get this right. The A side is supposed to wait on the B side to go make money. And then once the B side is ready and says, hey, I'm ready for you to spin the block. Now the A side should have been waiting around for the B side and run back to the B side for negotiation. What fucking sense does that make? And not only that, people are talking about, I thought he was going to spin the block. Terence say he's ready for him to spin the block. If Terence Crawford was ready for Errol Spence to spin the block, you know who he would call? Al Heyman and Errol Spence. You're not going to fucking tweet that. Why would you tweet that? What's the point of tweeting that, Jay? Help me understand.
There isn't one, man. There isn't one. We all know that the WBC mandated Spence to fight Keith. We know that. Absolutely. That was out there. That was no one's rumor. That was put out there. So Spence is fighting Keith. People had a problem with that already. Now he said he's probably gonna fight him at 154.
Right.
Oh, he shouldn't be fighting like. What does it matter?
What does it matter?
What does it matter? He was mandated to fight him. And is this a way? If this is a way for Spence to be petty, to fight Keith at 154, and if he were to lose to Keith still don't get the belts. That's being extra petty.
Tunnel Vision say BLK Prime has 6 pay-per-views this year, 3 with Broner and clearly 3 with Crawford. I do not disagree whatsoever. I do not believe Terence Crawford is going to fight Errol Spence. So let's do this.
So let's do this.
I want to pose this to the chat real quick though, Jay. So let's say Errol Spence fights Keith Thurman. They are unable to come to terms. So Errol says, fuck it. I'm going to go to 154 pounds. Now, we know that Terence Crawford has been barking that he wants to smoke with Maul. Why not then force Maul into a fight with him using his super champion status and move up? That should be the next move. Like if we were talking about 2 fighters that just could not come to terms, but they both really want the smoke. Spence is going to move up. Terence Crawford says, hey, I'm not going to sit around here for these young guys. Let me go ahead. I'm going to go get that smoke with your boy, with Charlo. But I don't think he's going to do that. I think what he's going to end up doing is fighting some tomato on BLK Prime. That's what I believe. What are your thoughts on that?
If Alexis wins this weekend, he's fighting Alexis Rocha next. He's fighting Alexa next. Because we
did a video on that one too. If that comes to fruition, and we did that video and we predicted that, wow. But it makes sense though, right? Because the WBO is going to mandate that, because I truly do believe that the WBO is in bed with Terence Crawford. They're going to mandate that fight. and then there'll be an opportunity for him to fight somebody who is not all that dangerous. Period. Oh man, Brenda up in here.
Yeah,
Brenda McDonald, what's going on with you?
I saw.
Hey, Brenda, listen, Brenda, how 54 covers a Mando? I don't disagree with that. Yeah. I do not disagree with that. To me, that does not make any sense whatsoever. It doesn't. But apparently, there is a precedence for doing that. You know what else doesn't make any sense? Not defending your title for 18 months. But that's what Terence Crawford is about to do. The next time Terence Crawford steps in the ring, he will have last defended his title 18 months prior. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If Terence Crawford can find loopholes within the rules in order to actually extend his mandatories, why can't Errol Spence figure out a way to satisfy his mandatory and spin the block? I'm not understanding the logic on why that is an issue. Help me understand.
Jay, the goalposts have been moved for the longest. I don't like the shit neither. Now, I didn't like the fact that Bud's defense, for him not fighting Spence, he didn't fight Virgil. Why? Virgil's side decided to avoid Bud. That's not Bud's fault at all. But there were several other people he could have fought besides David Avenesian. So if you didn't have a problem with Bud fighting David Avenesian, why are people having a problem with Spence fighting Thurman? I don't understand the problem.
Yeah, I don't understand the problem either when you look at it through that lens. But I don't disagree with Jay either. Like, you got to call out any fighter.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. And that's why we've said we're on record as saying that this doesn't make sense to us. I don't know how he's able to satisfy the mandatory by doing this. But again, according to Mauricio Suleiman, there is a precedence for doing this.
Yeah.
So if he's leveraging that the same way other fighters are leveraging other rules, to me, all these damn rules need to be cleaned up. WBO should not be allowing Terence Crawford to go 18 months without satisfying the mandatory. Errol Spence should be fighting mandatories more frequently, but I give Errol Spence a bit of leeway there because Errol, eye surgery, car crash, and unification fights. So I give him a pass there. But I don't really understand allowing him to satisfy his mandatory at 154 pounds. So if Keith Thurman wins, does he become champion? No.
Yeah.
If he loses, does he fall down the rankings? Probably. I don't know.
And
I don't know for sure on that.
Also, it's too many damn belts out there. It's too many belts that want to do things a certain way and everything. I mean, Kaheem, they won't ever have a super series like Dre participated in.
Yo, I was just
ever happen.
I was just about
great to have, but they won't ever do that. That won't ever happen.
I love that idea.
It won't happen again.
Hey, Jason Williams, I have no clue what the precedence is. None. I'm literally quoting Mauricio Suleiman. I have no idea. He did not give any examples. He was extremely vague. So I don't know. Easy Bands official. What's going on? I'm coming around. What are you talking about? I see. This is the interesting thing. I think people take bits and pieces of what we say, Jason, because they see bits and pieces of what we say. And of course, you don't
other
see
people
all
say
videos, but if you saw it across the board, you will realize we've been saying this for a while.
Yeah, is the thing is the most frustration for me is the fact that we're not getting the best fights available. Whether you're on Spence side or you're on Bud side, we ain't getting the best fights out there.
Period.
You can blame Spence, you could blame Bud. Right now, I just want to see the best damn fights. So
Facts.
for me, they just need to do away with all these damn different belts. For one, all the sanctioning fees you have to pay to having it once you have the belts is ridiculous from what other fighters have said. So that's why some fighters don't care about being undisputed.
Hey Jay, do you see what Eric Grimy, said? That kind of aligns to a video that we recorded earlier today that would drop tomorrow sometime. But I don't know, maybe we should give a preview to that. So Jason and I were talking earlier today, and we did a video on we kind of sometimes we just record chunks of videos and then we throw them out there periodically. And we were talking about what's going to happen with Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia and Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman. And I'm being a little bold with this, but I think, what if Errol Spence challenges Canelo Alvarez? Now, Canelo, guys, hear me out on this because Canelo is the biggest pay-per-view star in the sport. Nobody's really going to challenge him. But at the same time, he's fighting John Ryder, Cinco de Mayo. If I'm Errol Spence, man, I may be willing to challenge that. Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence is a bigger fight to me than Canelo Alvarez versus John Ryder. Now, again, I don't cover Canelo like that, so I may be looking through tunnel vision here. But what do you guys think about the potential of Errol Spence challenging Canelo Alvarez for Cinco de Mayo or even in May, period? Thoughts on that? Jay, what are your thoughts on that?
On Spence and Canelo?
Yeah, I mean, would Spence challenge him in May? Would he be willing to challenge him in May in terms of the pay-per-view? Because we know that.
Oh, pay-per-view. I thought you meant as far as a fight. I thought you meant.
No.
He threw me off for a second. I'm like, wait a minute. Now, as far as like pay-per-view vibes or things like that,
having his fight in May.
I see that'd be interesting, but it has to be the right fighter for it, you know, because May, we know traditionally that's a Mexican fighting someone in that month. You know, Floyd got to put that on the map big time. Then Canelo has taken it and been running with it.
I think Oscar was actually doing it first.
I thought they started when Oscar and Floyd fought. Because they fought on Cinco de Mayo, did they not?
Maybe. I thought Oscar was doing it more though, but go ahead.
But I really don't think anyone can knock Canelo off his perch just yet because he has a whole country behind him. He still has that country behind him, although it's diminishing because they're tired of the bull fight that he's been fighting. You know, they're not liking the way he fights. They're not liking who he's been fighting. So Errol can catch him, but you know, Canelo's a different type of star than Errol, and even Tank right now. Those are top three in my eyes. You know, but it'll be interesting. I think it could probably, you know, lessen the blow for Canelo as far as like the fighters watching, especially having two pay-per-views in the same month. You know, especially if Canelo fights John Ryder, which I said on a previous video a long time ago would happen. Shout out to me. But it has to be the right fighter. You know, someone like Keith, that might sell because Keith has a mouthpiece. But as far as boxing wise, no one really wants to see a Keith versus Spence because Keith hasn't been active and he's not at his prime like he once was. And there's nothing in it really for Spence, you know, to get out of it except for just beating Keith ass.
Yeah. Jay say Plant versus Benavidez is going to be a great fight. Yeah, they announced that.
Yeah.
Jay, we plan on dropping a video on that one tomorrow too. But that's going to be a good one. Jay, man, we have 40 minutes. I kind of feel like, you know, opening up the phone lines, man, see if they work. Hopefully they work.
So let's address one thing real quick. James said, why isn't Spence fighting in March? A fender bender has him out too long. I'm like, fender benders can be some of the worst accidents you can get in because you get what they call soft tissue damage in those accidents. I kind of know a little bit about that just from being an underwriter. So we see that all the time, and that's where bodily injury pay goes out the window. It goes out. That's where people get a lot of money from you. It just gets you. Oh, we got to go through rehab. Got to go through this. Got to go for that. So plus, he already had an injury before. He had already been through an eye surgery. He already had an accident. That's what he said. It kind of stirred up some stuff from the previous accident. So it wasn't just a fender bender because he had other issues as well. So him coming back in April, May, that's doctor's order. That's not his orders. Spence is not one to just shy away from just getting in the ring. Obviously, he wants to take the next person because he doesn't do tune-up fights. So go ahead, Greg.
No, I was going to say, we got 129 people in the building, 55 likes. If you get the opportunity, please smash that like button, smash the like button on the way in. It helps people find this content. And by the way, when you get the opportunity, please subscribe to the channel. And by the way, also, the Mic Check podcast, that's our boy T-Word and Quentin. If you get the opportunity, please go and check them out as well. All right, man. Jay, I kind of want to open up the phone lines, man, because I want to talk to the people. I enjoy talking to the people. Last time we had Tunnel Vision show up, man, and boy, he dressed us down. Boy, Tunnel Vision ain't playing. Who's in the comment section, man, ready to call in, but we're going to keep this thing rolling. So what else with Boots Ennis, Jay? Boots Ennis, we've been getting a lot of pushback on Boots, man.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I love Boots Ennis. We have supported Boots Ennis. We did a Superstar Series Rising on Boots Ennis. There's a lot of love for Boots, but we've been saying for a long time that Boots Ennis still has to prove it in the ring. And I feel like a lot of times people are judging Boots based off of his potential and not where he necessarily is right now. And that's where it creates a divide. So, we put out a video earlier today basically saying that Karan Chuhazian has stated that Virgil Ortiz was a better fighter. Now, we got that from boxingnews24.com. We did not get that from the actual interview. When we both listened to the interview, to us, we didn't hear that, right? But I'm assuming that Boxing News or someone else had interviewed him and he made this comment maybe in some other place, maybe off the record. I don't know, but that's where that came from. So a lot of pushback there. A lot of people know that I like Ortiz. I think
You're
Ortiz is
anti-Boots.
solid, man. Huh?
You're anti-Boots. We know.
Man, I ain't no damn anti-Boots, man. Shut up. I just feel like Ortiz doesn't get the credit that he deserves. I think Ortiz is fast, quick, explosive, got good skills. Now his defense lack a little to be desired, but at the same time, I don't know if Boots' defense is all that solid either. So I would love to see those guys get in the ring, man. Two young lions. My whole thing is I don't think it's the blowout that other people say it is. I just don't feel like that's the case. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't see Boots blowing it being a blowout against Ortiz. I mean, I still got Boots over Ortiz, despite the stinker of a fight that he had against KC. You know, he has won a few fights where he goes 12 rounds, wins 12 rounds to none, and it feels like he lost. You know, just because of the flaws we saw in the fight, the fact that he didn't live up to his own expectations, all the stuff that he put out there, all the hype. So I'm willing to give him one off, just like I gave Ortiz one off against McKinnison. So I don't hate Boots like you do.
Chinko.
It's Karanченko.
Cool. Guys, the phone lines are open, man. Call us. We ready to talk. I think that would be a massive fight, Jay.
Greg. Jason Mead agreed to what we talked about earlier. How Ortiz has a better resume than Boots right now.
Absolutely, I absolutely agree with that. There's no doubt in my mind that Ortiz has the better resume. And everybody talk about McKinnison, but he was able to make an adjustment in that fight and get him up out of there, right?
Yeah.
Boots didn't make that adjustment. So, again, I'm going to make this statement again. Boots said to everybody that the better his competition is, the better he will fight. So regardless if he has scouted this guy or not, after the first couple of rounds, when you realize that this guy moved a lot better than you thought, that you needed to cut off the ring, the expectation would have been, at least in my mind, based off what he said, is that he's going to elevate his game. We saw Boots do the same shit for 12 rounds. He did not elevate his game. And it's not about knocking him out. It's just about getting better as the rounds go on and figuring out and making the adjustments. And he was unable to do that. So as far as I'm concerned, that was an issue.
Yeah. I mean, I think the issue that messed up everyone is the fact that they say they don't watch film. They don't watch film. That's frustrating. You know, in any sport that you play, you always watch your opponent to find your opponent's tendencies. That's where you can maximize your chance of victory against them, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, boxing, any sport. Right. For them not to watch your opponent or have any idea what your opponent does is this ain't rapping. You know, it's not too many people like Jay-Z that can go out there and just go off the dome. But before he started going off the dome, he was writing his shit down. You know, he was sharpening his shit. You know, so Boots ain't there yet. And although he has about 30 fights, we haven't really seen him in there. You know, we haven't really seen him in there. Some of it's, you know, smart matchmaking, and some of it's not his fault where people are not wanting to fight him. You know, I understand why a Spence or a Bud wouldn't want to fight Boots, because Boots doesn't have anything to offer them. He doesn't have a belt. He doesn't have a huge following either. If he had a huge following like Tank or Canelo, it would be a lot more enticing for a Spence or a Bud to fight Boots. You know, it's more reward. But Boots is still high risk, low reward at this time for both of those guys.
Yeah, I agree. I think we might have missed a call, bro. I didn't hear it ring, but I'm looking here and it looks like we missed a call. So hey man, if you try to call in, give us a call back again. I did not hear it ring for whatever reason, but it looks like here we missed a call.
Hey, Brandon, you're right. 30 fights is almost a career for some fighters. Some fighters won 30 fights and they out of there.
Yep, facts. Um,
Trying to see if we missed anything
so
in the chat.
yeah, go ahead. I'm trying to see if this thing is if we're missing calls. Weird. Okay. Jay, what else we got on the docket, man? What else is on the docket?
Yeah,
What do we
looking
have?
here.
It's almost career.
Someone mentioned something.
But not right. He's a troll looking for attention. I don't know who we're talking about there. Hey guys, we got 149 people in the building, 65 likes. If you get the opportunity, please hit that like button or the dislike button. But make sure that you interact with the content because it helps people find this content.
Yeah,
Jay, what else do we want to cover tonight, man?
I just wonder how we as fans, what we can try to do outside of not supporting pay-per-views to try to get things to be more like it was kind of like back in the day. That Super Six that Kareem mentioned for like 147 pounders. It's crazy because it's not necessarily needed in a sense because we see it happening at kind of like at 135. Some of the top fighters there are really trying to fight each other. They're lining things up to put it out there. Hell, look what Mel did at 154. He went through all the top dogs there, for the most part, to get to that undisputed. It's frustrating as hell as a fan, and then if you look at the business acumen of someone that's not doing things good in your eyes, you're considered a hater of that boxer. You're just not liking what they're doing. Is that us?
No, that's my personal line.
Oh, someone talking about Inouye and Fulton. That's gonna be a nice one.
Yeah. We are looking forward to that one. So I think I did the video solo, Jay, if I'm not mistaken, on Inouye. And I see some skills in Inouye, fast, has some power for sure. Trying to recall the fights that I looked at now. So it was the two Donaire fights, and then I watched the fight where he unified. I can't think of the gentleman's name right now. The fight against the gentleman that he had his hands down. I mean, he didn't look all that great to me. Looked very explosive against Nonito Donaire. Now I know a lot of people said that he fractured his orbital bone in that first fight with Nonito Donaire, and they say that we should watch the Rodriguez fight and see what type of fighter Inouye is. But I want to see him move up and fight someone like Stephen Fulton, someone who is a known commodity, at least to us, right? We know him and understand him, and I think that'll be a great fight.
My bad, I was reading here. I was like, James, don't do Frank Martin like that, man. He said, does Frank Martin remind you of Tim Bradley? He was okay, but I'm not a fan. Don't do Frank Martin like that.
No, I totally disagree with that. Totally disagree with that. As far as I'm concerned, Frank Martin is legitimate. I think Frank Martin is going to ultimately end up being the guy that faces Shakur Stevenson at that weight class, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on that, Jay? I think he's going to be that guy.
Yeah, I think Frank Martin can be there. My only thing is the fact that he's new to the sport compared to a lot of other fighters that he's just started boxing at 17, 18, something around that.
Yeah.
So he was very, he was old compared to other fighters that just started. So he depends on if he gets in there with someone with a lot of experience. That might be a challenge. That'd be a real challenge for him. But I like the fact that he listens and he's technically sound. So that can take him a long ways in this game.
Agreed. I like Frank Martin, man. I think he's going to be that guy. Whether he beats Shakur Stevenson remains to be seen, because we got to see what Shakur looks like at 135 pounds. But that's going to be an interesting fight. Very interesting fight. Who we got in the building trolling? Look like somebody up in here trolling, man. Jay, what else we got on the docket, man? What else have we been talking
I was
about?
looking on here. Someone said something about when I mentioned Mel. He's like, yeah, Mel did all that. And where was he on the pound for pound list? I was like, pound for pound list is an opinionated list. For one, I know our list that you guys voted on. He was what, 2?
He was number 2.
He was number 2 pound for pound. That ESPN bullshit, they never give Mel any fair shake. So
no, they're not giving that man his fair props, man. And that's part of the issue, that they're not giving that man his props. Jay, one thing I want to talk about quickly is Teofimo.
I guess Brenda's trying to call in. She said you're not hearing your phone. Yeah, Brenda gonna get you, Greg, for not answering the phone.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. No, it's
hey Brenda, I apologize for him.
It's not showing as ringing here.
Oh yeah, Jason Wynn. Yeah, you're right. They don't recognize that. It's all about, it's a boys club team. It's like this squad versus that squad. No matter how good you on that squad, I'm not gonna give you any props because you ain't on my side. So that's the bullshit that we living in right now.
Agreed.
But that's the bullshit. People asking about so Benavidez and Plant. Who you got, Greg?
Benavidez.
By knockout.
I know a lot of people are gonna say knockout. I know a lot of people think that Plant has the boxing skills to
yeah, Jay said he tried twice as well to call in.
I don't know what the hell is going on, man.
We apologize, but that was one of the technical difficulties we were dealing with earlier. That's what took us delayed us earlier. So
we were just using it like earlier and what happened?
Oh man, S1 Dubs. He wilding for that one, man. But yeah, he definitely needs a technical support help. Yeah, I mean the Benavidez Plant fight, that's going to be an interesting one. I think. I got Benavidez. I think by knockout in that fight. Caleb looked good against Anthony, but Anthony was like 40. In that last fight, he caught him that was a nice knockout he got on him too. Bodying the up top, love that combination. But I don't see him being able to sustain anything against Benavidez as far as the way Benavidez throws punches and bunches. He's longer. He hits hard as shit as well. So I don't know about that. Plus, I'm still following Caleb Plant for when the fight against Canelo. He's talking to him like, I'm pretty good. I'm better than what you thought. Nah, miss me with that shit.
Hey guys, try to call in again. I just made an adjustment to the line. Hopefully we'll be able to hear it ring.
Hey man, the chat getting on you, Greg.
Hey, listen, the shit worked prior to and you guys need to get on Jason because I mean shit. It's his fault. Yeah, guys, try to call in again and see if you come through.
They telling you, Greg, they saying you ducking, bruh.
I'm not ducking anybody. I love smoke. I'm trying to get you in. Go ahead and call.
Nah, I do agree. Plant's movement can make that fight last a little bit longer, be interesting. But if he gas out, he gonna be assed out. Cause Benavidez throwing them things on him.
Man, Benavidez is gonna beat that boy. I lost all kind of respect for Caleb Plant when he was in there talking about, hey man, I'm really good, right?
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. That pissed me off.
Got here.
That pissed me off right there. I just can't do that.
Dude, that shit pissed me off so bad, man. Hey, if we can't get the phone lines ringing here, Brenda or Jay, let me know when you about to call. If I don't see the phone line ringing, then I'm just gonna drop the link in the chat and you guys can just join there and then we'll get you on the call that way. So now I hear it ringing. Can you hear it ringing, Jay? This is the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. You are on live.
What's up, Greg and Jason? This is Joe from Dallas, Texas.
And I can't hear him.
On Terence Crawford.
Can't hear him either.
Y'all want to answer the phone? We thought y'all was ducking us.
Ain't this a bitch? Literally, this thing was just working fine.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that the chat can hear him and we can't.
Can you hear me?
They can hear him. Yeah, the chat can hear him, but we can't hear him. So caller, we can't hear the caller. The chat can hear you. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah. It's doing the same shit it did last week. And literally, just like last week, I tested everything out and it was working fine prior to.
Hey, League, I ain't gonna let you do my boy Greg like that. We ain't ducking him.
This shit is just, wow. Never seen anything like it, my friend. It makes absolutely no sense.
Hey, Brenda, you ain't right. He ain't say no Spence sucks. Stop it, Brenda.
Give me 1 second, Jay, man. Just I'm gonna try one other thing with this and see if it brings it up.
Appreciate your Ohio lyrics. We're gonna get you, Brenda. Yeah, just drop the link in there. Drop the link in there.
Yeah.
He said you pulling the Dempsey. Hey man, y'all gonna get on my partner like that now.
What happened?
Nah, they said you're doing the Dempsey roll. You ducking and everything.
Man, why y'all doing me like that? Ain't nobody ducking, man. Hold on. Let me call this. Let me drop this in the chat real quick. Just drop this in the chat real quick, and now I'm gonna pin it. So just join that right there.
It's all League.
Join that right there, and once I see you come in, I will join you to the actual chat. So Brenda and Jay, I am waiting.
So they said better be even a revolve. That'd be an interesting fight right there.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me.
That's a tough one. You know, I want to see what it looks like against Yard next weekend. See, I do like Bivol has grown on me though, because he's been very technically sound.
No, I like Bivol as well. I just need to look at a little bit more of Beterbiev, man, before I say whether or not I believe he's going to beat Bivol or not. But I think Bivol is sharp, and I like what I saw against Canelo Alvarez. It was a lot better than what I thought. Yo, Greg, just get one of the kids from the local high school to help you figure this out. God damn it. Hey, yeah, I got to get somebody to help me figure it out, man. I don't, because it's, again, guys, it's working prior to going live, and then all of a sudden it literally just stops.
We do test it, and everything looks good.
Tested it, and it worked, and it stopped. So and there's nothing changed with the setup, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But I'm waiting for somebody to join that link, man. They say we were ducking. They say I'm ducking the smoke, man.
A lot of people saying better even stops Bivol. I don't know about that now. I mean, it's possible. I mean, because he's a hell of a puncher, but I don't know. Bivol will study you like he did against Canelo, learn those tendencies and roll with the punches, avoid and just do well. I mean, he did well against the blown up resume cat that De La Hoya had. Forgot his name. This Mexican dude. He beat his ass.
Yeah. What do you guys think about not Ortiz, Teofimo Lopez Sr. said about Tank Davis? I mean, Jay, why don't you cover that real quick? We covered it in the video, but I thought that was interesting, man. I don't know, man. Like Teofimo Lopez Sr., there's only one individual that I believe is more delusional than he is, and I'm not gonna say his name, but bruh, there's something definitely going on with those guys, dude.
Oh, the Lopez's, the Teofimos.
Absolutely, something's going on.
They're a wild group. That's a wild family right there. I mean,
absolutely, dude.
I don't want to smoke. I don't want anything they smoking, cause they be on that shit. Cause no one hit. Oh, he talking like the last fight. Scene was talking about. Yeah, I rewatched the fight with my son and Sandor, and he looked good. No, the hell he didn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, the hell he didn't. Booger sugar, right, Jason? I mean, that's some delusional shit right there.
Man, I'm still waiting for Brenda and Jay. Man, don't be ashamed, guys. You're not gonna be on video. It's just gonna be your voice. Join us, man. Join us. I've been waiting to hear from Brenda.
Yeah, people for pound king. Yeah, senior always be lying. He always be lying.
Well, here's the thing that didn't make any sense, really, Jay, in my opinion, about that whole situation. So we know that they were talking about. I think he started off by basically giving Teofimo Lopez Jr. a whole lot of love about his performance versus Sandor Martin, and to me, it's like, bro, that wasn't even the question that you were being asked, and that's number one. Number two, you really didn't even look that good to begin with. Like, your boy didn't look solid like that. He was not solid. So then he transitioned to talk about Tank, and that Tank hasn't fought anybody. And again, I don't have any problem with anybody criticizing Tank Davis's resume. I mean, Tank could step up the level of competition. I think he's going to in the next few fights. But then he starts to talk about Ryan Garcia not being a challenge, because the guy asked him to say, hey, once he fights Ryan Garcia, if he beats him, would you say he stepped up the competition or whatever? And he basically said no. But then, like, literally in an interview we saw earlier today, after that interview, he was talking about Ryan Garcia and how much better he was than what he thought. That check left hook, he fights tall and all that. So, man, Teofimo Sr. is all over the damn place, man. It's ridiculous.
His son follow suit too. Follows right behind him. I mean, his son, after the end of the fight of Sandor Martin was saying, do I still got it?
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. Yeah. That's a problem right there, and all the litany of excuses they had. I think they've had the most excuses for losing a fight than any other fight I've seen or heard from in years.
Mm-hmm.
In years. And that's all from one fight against Kambosos, who almost died. They set it up because they wanted him to fight Haney. I won that fight. The ref knew I won that fight. I don't care about these belts. I was undisputed. I mean, that's 6 lies right there. They done all said.
Facts. Big facts.
I mean, they just crazy. I mean, and Teo, like you said, like we talked about before, Teo being at 140.
Yep.
That's a problem for him. That's a problem for him because he don't want Regis. Regis will hurt that boy. Like he said, Regis will hurt him.
Facts.
I'm high
Facts.
on Regis. I'm real high on Regis. Regis will hurt him.
Yeah, he don't want that smoke with Regis. He was actually making an excuse as to why he shouldn't get into the ring with Regis, right?
He had all types of shit. But then his dad counteracted that on a different interview saying that we want the Regis fight.
Right. But then he said that they don't, but it's not going to pay him the amount of money that they want. So you really don't want the fight. I mean, listen, I actually feel bad for Teofimo Lopez because I think he's in a position right now where he can no longer make 135 pounds, but also he's in a position where, moving up to 140, he has not matured in his skill level. And I don't think he can necessarily compete there. And his power isn't necessarily translating to that level either. So I just feel like he's in a really bad position. And it could get dicey for Teofimo Lopez once he gets into the ring with anybody at 140 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, Jay, you know what? His ego should be destroyed because his ego was like astronomical after he fought Lomachenko. And now I think he's been brought back down to earth. And that's probably where he belongs. He should be on earth. What you laughing about, Jay?
Easy Bands in here is capping for Bud like no other. Talking about Bud has more money than Spence and had investors offering $25 million for both. Oh man,
who are the investors? Who are the investors? Well, yeah,
come on, Easy Bands.
Tell us who they are.
Just stop it, bro. Stop it.
Absolutely. Who is Regis about to fight next? I don't know.
That's a good question. You see who ran away from him? Ramirez just ran away. He ducking him.
Correct.
He ducking him.
I don't know who's going to fight next.
Truth be told, Josh didn't want no more of him neither. That's why Josh didn't give him a rematch.
Facts.
That's why he didn't give him a rematch. He didn't want that smoke with Regis. Because I thought Regis won that fight. Close fight, but I thought Regis pulled it out against Taylor. But Josh has problems with Jack Catterall now because he actually lost that fight. but they gave him I think they gave it to him, or it was a draw. I believe they gave it to him. But supposedly they're supposed to run it back this year. So for Regis at 140, yeah, I don't know who he has next up. AB can't make the weight. So
I don't know, man. Hey, yo, so guys, I know you guys probably saw that ES News video earlier today, and AB is still chunky, man. Like it's what? It's a little over a month out now, like 5 weeks.
just about, yeah.
You probably lose an average of about 2 pounds a week, unless it's water weight. Broner, man, I don't think Broner gonna make 140. I don't know how much he weigh right now, but he look like he's at about 165 or something, man. He looks chunky, bruh. Now maybe he'll end up dropping that weight, but and did you I saw him training earlier too? Man, AB looks slow now, bruh. Like his combinations look slow. He didn't look sharp. I don't know, man. AB might get in there, man, fuck around and get beat by Lundy.
Man, Lundy coming up at 147. Lundy has never fought heavier than 140. And Lundy's our age.
No, he's a little younger than us, man. Damn, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, he's our age. Hey, Rick, I appreciate you, man. As a businessman, if you are talking to someone about possible joint venture funded by someone else, do you tell them who's putting up the money in the first conversation? Absolutely. I tell them who's putting up the money in the first conversation, because at the end of the day, that's going to be something that people are going to be interested in understanding and knowing, right? Like usually when we start talking about any kind of business deal, you kind of know who the players are right from the jump. It's like, yeah, I got, this person or that person or whatever. Now, if it's just a general conversation, then maybe not. But for the most part, yeah, you're talking about who's involved with that business deal for sure.
Yeah. It seems like the BLK Prime MO is to pluck a fighter out of who's already engaged in another fight. Because Hank was supposed to fight somebody else already.
Was doing a video a little earlier. Hey, Jason, did he mention why he did not, or why he didn't go through with the fight? That would be interesting in knowing that. Hey guys, we got 130 people in the building and 82 likes. If you haven't had the opportunity, please hit the like button, or if you don't like the content, hit that as well. But make sure that you interact with the content, and also subscribe to the channel. We are always dropping boxing content and giving our perspective on the sport of boxing. Yeah, I'd be interested in knowing what he said there, man, because I'd be interested in knowing why he dropped out. And the other thing that would be interesting in knowing, and I haven't had the opportunity to see like AB speak on this or whatever, but I wonder if there's a reason why AB picked Lundy. Like,
yeah, I don't know if AB picked him, but I mean, Lundy was supposed to fight the young kid, Mercado, I believe is his last name, on February 4th. Mm-hmm. So he's fighting AB on February 25th. And Lundy's been fighting at 140 and 135. Now he's going to go up to 147 at the age of what, 38?
Right.
39, something like that. With 12 losses already. He's lost what, 3 or 4 of his last 5 fights. That's not making a splash in the boxing for BLK Prime for this year, 2023. That's not how you get in there.
Totally agree. You won't get an argument from me there. What else we got going on in the chat, Jay?
So AB gets knocked out. How does that affect BLK's clout moving forward? League, exactly. If AB loses this fight here, what happens to those other 2 fights? How does that help BLK Prime?
Some of your friends, maybe.
I mean,
Jay, did you just hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
That's one Dubs. You ain't right for that, bro. You ain't right for that.
What happened?
But yeah, get them likes up, folks. We appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. We need those likes. It helps people find the content for sure.
Hey, James. I don't know about Bill Haney. Bill Haney, he's high and cold with me. He's hot and cold with me. Sometimes I feel like he's doing a little bit too much, and other times I feel like he's doing just right. He definitely ain't nowhere near Ennis dad or Teo's dad. Oh, we got a call. Can we hear him?
No, Jay, that was actually me calling, so I could actually hear it now. So then the question is, if somebody call, will we be able to hear him? But I just tested. I just made an adjustment to it to see if it would actually work now. So yeah, guys, try to give us a call real quick, see if it works. We'd love to hear from you.
Hey, Dallas, Texas, Mike. I wouldn't doubt that, man. That they came in last year, going out this year. Talking about BLK Prime.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Their model is completely flawed. I mean, you're talking about giving AB $10 million, $3.3 million per fight. The first fight is with Lundy at $40 a pop. Now, we know that it's been the rumor has been countered in terms of Tank doing 80,000 buys. But let's say if that was real, man, what is AB gonna sell against Lundy? Garbage.
For no belts,
There's
for
no way that
nothing.
they're going to be able to sustain that kind of a business. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Derek Kills, yeah. We feel the same way. BLK Prime is using the zone model. And
yeah, it's the zone model.
We did a video last week, and we talk about how the zone, all the money he lost over the last 5 years.
Exactly. Easy band official JV, but you call with Spence fighting Thurman at 154, but can do whatever he wants right now. I would encourage him to go get some money versus Pacquiao in the meantime. Yeah, you would like to see him against Pacquiao, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Some money.
Now,
that's fine too.
Money, you want to see against Blair Cobbs next, don't you?
I wouldn't doubt that either. Man, Black Card would be a good fight. Hey guys, the phone. Who's gonna be the first? Somebody test the phone line for me, man. See if we can hear you when you call in. Somebody give us a try.
Hey, Jason, yeah, that model they using from the zone, that's like a wish version with the fights they putting on. I'm like, if you're gonna go and break into boxing, and you're gonna have AB, who was a funny character at one point, average, maybe slightly average, above average boxer at one point. At this stage of his career, he's not the one you want holding the flag for your team right now. You need someone else. You need someone that's a bona fide star to get you out there. A bona fide star. If they had pulled someone like Tank, I'd have been okay. They can really be and then have the good fights. But even you don't have a good decent.
So I hear it ringing, Jay. Let's see if we can hear. This is the Angry Man podcast. You are on live. Hopefully we can hear you.
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
And I still cannot hear him.
Did they hang up? I heard a beep.
That's somebody else calling in. But
yeah,
we still can't freaking hear.
Gotta fix the phone.
Can anyone chat? Can y'all hear the caller?
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? If y'all can hear me, put in.
They can hear.
Or her. Wow. I do not understand this, dude. We're all literally on the same connection. It doesn't make sense that we can't hear it. Makes no sense at all.
Oh, Leak said he was just testing. Yeah, we can't hear him. We can't hear him. Damn.
Makes no sense that we can't hear him. We should be able to hear him. I mean, literally, it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, I've seen Easy Bands on a lot of other channels, and he always pushing Bud to the fullest.
What other channels does this dude on, man? Because I see him in the comment section a lot too.
Yeah, he be in the comment section all day, every day. Just Bud can do no wrong. Goodness gracious.
Well, I'm sure he can in his mind, man. I'm sure he can in his mind. What other man? I felt like it's been more things.
They say Bud got your phone, you ducking like crazy. He called you Greg Crawford, bro.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Dallas, Texas.
Stay on the line real quick. Let me see if I can make an adjustment to hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we know you hate Easy Bands.
Hey, so now I can hear you. Say something.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, but I guarantee you the chat can't hear you.
I don't know if they can hear me.
That's the people in the chat,
you getting it. Go get your son or something. He might know what to do.
Oh, y'all can hear him? Oh, they can hear him.
Oh, they can hear, yeah.
Can hear you now too.
Oh, all right. I was just calling to help you out, but the question is, I know you were saying something about AB. I think AB is good for $10 million. I know the Hank Lundy fight ain't that good, but if they could follow it up with a Progress, they could save it. They could save the $10 million. That'd be a good fight for him.
Hell yeah, that'll be a good fight. Now, I don't know if they'll save their 10 million, but that'll be a good fight. And to be honest with you, I actually think Regis was at the fight for Terence Crawford. And it felt like Regis, it felt like he was excited about that fight, right? It felt like he was into that fight. And he was saying that they were legit and had legitimate money. So I think Regis may be a candidate to sign with BLK Prime, in my opinion.
In that fight with him and AB, it'd be a perfect fight for Progress because that'll give him a good name on his record, build up his catalog, and also it'd be a good fight for AB. Even though he'll take a L, he's still got that fight under his belt, and he's fighting for a world championship, so that's not bad.
But the thing is AB is not deserving of that fight, though.
You don't think he'll take it?
No, he's not deserving of that fight.
Terence Crawford wasn't deserving of $10 million to fight Avenesian, but they gave him the money. So
fair. No counter
that. Money. You get free money.
You get money. Everybody gets money. Exactly. They open around here. But you guys have a good day, man. I enjoyed the chat. I'm gonna get back in the chat. Clowning people.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in and helping us out, bro.
All right, cool.
All right, love. All right, the phone lines are open. I did it. Everybody talking about I need a son to figure out how to do this. I figured that shit out my damn self. All right, Brenda McDonald, you're up next. I'm waiting for Brenda McDonald right now. I'm calling you to the carpet. It's time for you to step up to the plate.
What you gonna do, Brenda?
Yeah, bro. No, they're talking about I was ducking. They said I was ducking. Yeah. I'm not ducking no smoke.
He just had to spin the block. He came back.
Brenda did say Broner Maidana 2. Now, Broner Maidana 2 would sell like a mofo. The problem is it'll take both of them probably 12 months to get in shape in order to actually make the fight.
Well,
last time I saw Maidana, he was round as a basketball, bro. The League of Legacy say, way to go, Greg. It only took 3 weeks. Damn, fucked up.
They rough, man.
They shaming me, man. Hey guys, I'm doing my best.
Hey, Pound King, they need to do beyond. They need to do more than just stack the undercard. I mean, what they call stacking the undercard is what they did by getting a MMA fighter in the box, like Chris Cyborg. So I don't got any confidence in them stacking this card in February because the only thing I've read that might be on like a co-main would be Mickey Bay versus Tevin Farmer, and they've been trying to fight for the last 3 years.
Say sorry, Jay, man. Keep hold tight, bro. I'm just trying to. Jason said I need to save these settings, and I think he's actually right. I'm taking a screenshot of the settings, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, I don't even know they can fight at 168. AB said his fight here against Hank Lundy is at 147. Before that, last year he was talking about I was going to be at 140 when he announced he was on BLK Prime. And me and Greg looked at like, you probably about 200 right now. Easy. So we'll see. Oh, yeah. Hey, Jay Will, yeah. Maidana took that Floyd money and ate big after that. Because he didn't have a fight after that second Floyd fight, did he? He stopped after that. He just
I think he was done after that, man.
I ain't mad at him. You know?
Yeah, after that Floyd fight, man, bro was set and he was done. And that was it. So, it is what it is. I don't think there's anything else that those boys can do to really save that organization. I don't even really think what's going on?
Yeah, I'm laughing at B-Dog. B-Dog said the universe doesn't want that Mickey Bay Tevin Farmer fight.
Facts. Made down to 200 pounds now. Absolutely. Bud Week. What more do you want to hear?
Yeah. I mean, truth be told, AB ain't been focused in forever. And that's always been AB's problem. His lack of being focused and his lack of throwing punches in fights. Because he's tough as shit, and when you watch him train, you're like, oh shit. AB throwing some hell of a combinations and everything. Get into the fight, one punch, 1-2.
Bro, he ain't doing that now. We got somebody else calling in, Jay. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can.
I can hear it.
You are on the Angry Man podcast with Jason and Greg. What's going on?
I'm on. Congratulations, guys, for getting the technical issues worked out.
Who is this?
This is Patrick, man. I'm calling. I want, a lot of the attention is on the midget leagues, or welterweight and below. Wanted to get you guys' thoughts on the middleweight division and up. I mean, it seems to be kind of weak.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to start talking about some of the heavyweights. I mean, these little guys, taking them. I like them. I like these fights. I like some of the fighters, but the drama down there in the midget leagues is getting a bit much for me. So, just wanted to know what you guys thought about some of the, middleweight and up, and what can be done to get some of the some good fights at some of the traditional weight classes, like middleweight, to kind of get that back going, because there's nothing going on at middleweight right now.
So that's a great question, and I think that's partly due to the fact that Canelo Alvarez has been holding up 168 and 175, right? And by that I mean he's not fighting the top fighters in those divisions, and he's been just running around lacing his pockets. He took on Bivol, and I think he was a cherry gone wrong. But I think a lot of the fighters in and around that weight class are just waiting on him to get that payday. Now, we got Benavidez and Plank coming up. That's a good fight that I think everybody's going to be excited about seeing. We need to get Maul back into the ring, right? I don't know what's going on with Maul in terms of like his personal life, but Maul needs to get back in the ring. Benavidez has called him everything under the sun, including a pussy. And so Maul can't he can't take that line down, right? So he needs to get back into the ring. And if those guys would have mixed it up along with Canelo, Beterbiev, and now we got Beterbiev and Yarde fighting not this weekend, but the following. So there's potential for action to occur there, but it's all predicated on Canelo Alvarez. Now, if he doesn't move, nothing's going to really happen. So then if you move up to heavyweight, there's some opportunities there as well, right? So, Fury and Usyk is probably going to fight sometime maybe in March or April. So that's a big fight. I still personally want to see Wilder versus AJ. And it seems like, AJ's open to the idea that he said that, of course, they need to fight. They're going to be on a collision course at some point. So that's one that I would still love to see. And I think a lot of the general boxing fans would still want to see those fights. I would like to see any of those guys matched up except Fury and Wilder again. I don't want to see that one again. But Fury versus Usyk, or Wilder versus Usyk, AJ versus Wilder, all of that stuff. AJ versus Fury. I would love to see all of those guys in action. Those are my thoughts on that. Jason, what are yours?
No, I mean, the heavyweight division is interesting. The 175, we got a few fighters there. 168, honestly, and 160. Maul has been inactive for a long ass time. I don't know if he's gotten exceptions from being stripped, but he should have been stripped a while ago, honestly.
Facts.
Because he hasn't defended his title in a long time. So and for a while I thought he was the better of the two Charlos, but now Mel has definitely surpassed Jamal. At heavyweight, Jared Anderson is interesting. Joe Joyce is interesting, although he's old. He's undefeated and he's been cracking. I'm not big on the other Brit, Daniel Dubois. Not big on him at all. I'm along with Greg as far as seeing AJ and Wilder. I would love to see that fight. I've been seeing rumblings about Wilder and Andy might be mixing it up later this year, but we don't know. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I mean, the heavyweights need to start doing some things. They need to start fighting each other to really start getting a bigger buzz against, because those divisions have died down a lot. But like he said, like Greg said, Canelo's been holding up a lot of the divisions by holding belts and not fighting.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think the heavyweight fights need more skilled fighters. I mean, I mean, those fights that you mentioned would be interesting, but I'm waiting to see some more skilled, very skilled heavyweights come up in the ring and start fighting. I mean, these lumbering kind of fighters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Usyk can fight, but
yeah, he can fight his ass
some
off.
of the other ones are different. I'm not excited. And Usyk can fight, but he can't really crack. So I'm ready to see some really good fighters. I mean, I miss the Holyfields and Mike Tyson in his prime and some of those fighters. I mean, I really do miss those guys. They have supreme skill. They have supreme skill. So I think one more thing.
Heavyweight was completely different back then.
One more thing about the father and son combination. You know, father is a trainer and son like Teofimo and his dad, and even Devin Haney and you know and his dad to a certain extent. I mean, I think it's tough to navigate that for some people. You know, some dads just can't handle it.
Yeah,
they just can't handle it. They just with their sons, there's no way they can handle it. I think Ortiz does a good job. Benavidez, his dad does a good job, I think. But for some dads, they don't know how to handle this. And then you have Haney getting on and embarrassing himself, just cursing away. I'm like, dude, you're an older guy. Like, you know, have some decorum. You know, children are watching. Like, everybody's watching. Younger boxers are watching. And you're just getting on, trying to go at Tank's coach. Like, I don't know. I just think it's tough for some, and some dads just can't do it. And I think Teofimo dad, not only can he not do it, I think mentally his son is following his lead, and I don't think that's healthy in that case.
Not healthy at all. Totally agree with you, Patrick.
Yep. Anything else you want to share with the people, Patrick?
No. Great show. I'm looking forward to some of the fights that are coming up. I still think there needs to be some work done on these sanctioning bodies. Maybe somebody needs to come in and just take over from all of them. Somebody with big pockets, and come into the sport and just totally take it over. But yeah, looking forward to the fight.
Maybe that hedge fund from that butt nose can do it.
What's that?
Maybe that hedge fund that butt nose can do it.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Listen, I'm still saying Elon Musk. Somebody get in touch with Elon Musk. We can get this done.
Absolutely. All right, Patrick, man. We appreciate you, bro.
All right,
appreciate you.
All right,
have a good one. Later. Oh, man, that was a good call from Patrick there, man. We got 123 people in the building, 97 likes. If you get the opportunity, man, please hit the like button. It helps people find this content. And if you don't like it, hit the dislike button, but make sure you interact with the content. And also, if you get the opportunity, subscribe to the channel. Jason and I are always dropping content every day. Feels like we're dropping them like No Limit albums. And if you're younger than 40, you probably don't know what we're talking about.
Hey, Jason Williams, Berlanga, I'm with you on that. I'm not impressed with him either. You know, he was fighting some cabbies, getting all those knockouts, and he fought someone that was a little bit tougher and struggled. So I know he just left Top Rank, so we'll see what he does from there. Man, Easy Band says jack the chat by trolling with this bud stuff. Boy, I tell you.
Peace, Brenda. Peace. Somebody else is calling in, man. Who we got calling in right now? They calling from the 310. You are on the Angry Man podcast with Jason and Greg. What's going on with you?
Hey, what's up? This is Adrian from Los Angeles, man. What's up?
What's happening,
What's up,
man?
Adrian?
Chilling like a villain. Hey, man, you guys are the dynamic duo of the boxing talk. I tell you that right now, man. You guys are bad, man.
Oh, I
Appreciate the love.
so much.
You got it, man.
I'm Jordan, though. He's Pippin.
So far as this 168 division goes, now check it out. I'm a Mexican American, but I do not like Canelo one bit, man. I got the duck. He just because of everybody, man. Straight up, man. He's what we call a pendejo, man, a dumbass. Man, I want to see him get his ass whipped from Benavidez, man. Benavidez to me is a badass. He should be taking on everybody there. I don't think that as far as the way Andre looked in his last fight, he didn't. I mean, he did the job, but he didn't impress me too much. You know, he really didn't impress me too much.
Same
so
here.
I'm gonna get your take on that fight right there. What do you think about Benavidez and Andre?
I think it'd be an interesting fight. Just because Andrade's
interesting fight.
He's awkward and he's a southpaw, you know, and he does some rough off tactics in the ring. So if Benavidez been younger and a little bit less experienced, he might frustrate Benavidez and bait Benavidez at doing things that Benavidez is not used to doing. So that'd be his way of being able to actually probably beat Benavidez. I don't think he beats Benavidez at all.
I don't think that he can hurt Benavidez, you know?
You got a point there.
I don't think he can hurt Benavidez either. And Boo Boo is awkward. I can't put my finger on Andre. There's something that's missing, Jay. There's something that's missing that I can't put my finger on with him. But I just feel like Benavidez will probably beat him. You know, I can't remember the dude's name right now. For whatever reason, I'm drawing a blank. But the guy that he fought on Tank's undercard, something with an H. That guy was landing some shots on Andre that I didn't think. I mean, he had him puffy.
Yeah.
And I felt like he shouldn't have no shots on Andre. So I just feel like Benavidez is the more solid fighter. Now, again, Benavidez, he has some holes in his game as well in terms of his defense, but I think he more than makes up for it with his offense. I think he's going to beat Plant. I think he'll beat Canelo too, but Canelo may be a little bit tougher just because he's a little slicker. But at the same time, we don't know because Canelo has been in the ring with a bunch of tomatoes lately. And the one time he got into the ring with somebody who had a pulse, and I'm not saying he just got a pulse. We know, he's a good fighter. But once he got into the ring with him, man, we saw the real Canelo Alvarez, and he had somebody with some skills in there, and he lost.
Yeah, because Canelo's been fooling people for years, man, but he hasn't been fooling me. You know, man, I see holes all over his game. He cherry picks everybody. And like you guys said, cherry pick gone wrong, man. Cherry pick gone wrong, you know?
That's what absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Bivol was a cherry gone wrong. And we looked at him, and the thing about Bivol was, I was looking at him, I was like, I think Canelo will probably get the best of him. What surprised me about Bivol is that his foot movement, his movement was just a little bit better than what I thought it was going to be. And he fought a little taller than I thought he was going to fight. And those were the keys to success for him, and he was able to pull that out. So if he goes down to 168 pounds, I still got him beating Canelo, period.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
hell yeah. Hell yeah. 100%. I was going to say one more thing. Have you guys heard about that rumor about that Tank, I heard some bullshit about that Tank fight only got 6,000 pay-per-views, or somebody reported that bullshit. I mean, I don't believe that one bit. Or no, I'm not 6,000, 60,000. 60,000. I know it was a lot higher than that, man.
Yeah, so shout out to Ray Jackson, man, who had a source, and Chicken Talk, who was actually in the chat. I don't know if he's still in the chat right now, but they have some inside connections, and both of them are saying that the fight did substantially more than that. I think around 300,000 buys, I think, is the number that Chicken Talk had. Which makes way more sense to me than 80,000 buys. I mean, and Jason,
$5 million gate. Come on,
today, and it's probably not going to come out because I don't think we probably shouldn't release that video. But in that video, we just talked about, you look at Rolly Romero fight. They were rumored to do about 275. Prior to that, he fought. Was it Isak Cruz that he fought? Oh yeah, it was Isak Cruz.
Yeah,
and he did between 150 to 200,000 buys. Now, a lot of people would like to contribute it to Fire Sticks, but Fire Sticks did not just come into existence in 2023. They've been around for several years now. So those fights did 275 and 150 to 200. Why would this fight all of a sudden do 61,000 buys or 80,000 buys with a card that was immaculate? Makes no sense.
Oh, hell yeah. That was a great card. My best fighter, the fighter that I love the most, I love Boots. I'm a big Boots fan. A little disappointed, but though he's going to be back better than ever next time, man. But
tell us what you think about
all that aside, I just want to leave you guys with that. Hey, man, you guys definitely compliment each other. Jason compliments Greg. Greg compliments Jason. I love to see you guys together, man. You guys are the best. God bless you guys. Man. Much love, man.
All right, man. Love. Have a good one.
All right. You have a good one too, bro. Bye-bye.
Yep. Yeah, Chicken Talk still in the building. Okay, I'm here driving and listening. What's up, Chicken? I think it was Chicken. Yeah, Chicken was one that dropped that was, I think it was
from Ray Jackson. That Ray Jackson posted. I think it was Ray Jackson posted.
Oh, yeah. Ray Jackson had a higher number, but I thought Chicken was the one that settled on the 300. I might be wrong.
No, I think you got it right. I think Ray had it higher than Chicken had it a little bit lower. But I mean, I don't think he did 40, 60K. But let's say even if it did do that, they're still, if you do the numbers and what they paid the fighter, they're still making a profit.
Jason, hey man, Jason Williams, boy, he is one of the
Jay will be on it.
Yeah, he one of the cats that keep poking at you, and at some point he starts to grow on you. I don't know what it is, but man, he always got something to say. Man, what else we got to cover, man? Anything else we want to cover? What's going on in the chat, bro? Man, my energy level just went up once the phone started working, man. And now everybody, they say I was ducking smoke. Now everybody
talking about, I think when we say Bivol was a cherry pick going wrong, we're not calling Bivol a cherry himself as far as the type of fighter.
Yeah, it was just perception, right?
It's just perception. He's a European fighter. He perceived him. That's how Canelo perceived him as a cherry pick, because he's a European fighter. Right. And he was on that European diet. You know, from Billy Joe Saunders to Ari Dirham and Kovalov. You know, that's what we would say a cherry pick going wrong. You know, Bivol is not no cherry. He can fight his ass off. He beat the shit out of Canelo. He beat the shit out of the other cat, the other Mexican he fought after Canelo. I forget his name. Zurdo or something. I think Zurdo was his name. You know, so now Bivol can fight. He is far from a cherry.
Easy Bands official wants me to talk about Rick Glazer 60,000, but we got Chicken Talk in the building. He has inside connection and he's refuted 60,000 buys. He's saying that it's closer to 300. And you know what, Rick Glacier, I don't know if I believe anything that comes out of Rick Glacier mouth. This is the same guy that's talking about Canelo Alvarez and say if and when Bivol comes down, he believes that Canelo Alvarez is going to beat him. So clearly,
he said that before their first fight.
Doesn't really know what he's talking about, huh?
That was before his first fight. They fought. That was before the first fight they fought. He said that.
Oh, that's what he was saying. Okay. Well, a lot of people picked him in the first fight. That ain't nothing new. I thought that comment that I saw was from.
Hey, Jason Mead, I can't say Canelo wanted Dare to be great, man. I can't say that because Canelo was cherry picking cats to just get belts. I mean, remember he wanted to fight Makabu. He wanted to fight Makabu at 190.
Exactly.
But they're like, nah, we ain't paying you to fight this guy. You got to do a different fight. So I'm not saying he wants to dare. He's daring to be. He's selective, being selective who he fights, so he can get belts. To stack his resume of saying, "Oh, I got this belt, this weight, this belt, or that weight." But they're low level champions. They're not really a threat. You know.
Agreed. Totally agree. Man, anything else we want to cover, bro? I know we coming up on an hour and 41 minutes. We're coming live again on Sunday, guys. We just decided that we were going to do a live tonight. Jason and I had energy. We wanted to smoke and decided we were going to get on and do our thing. So definitely going to be live again on Sunday at 4 p.m. our usual time. And we're here to talk about the sport, man. Any other things we want to talk about, Jay, right now? Anything in the chat?
And what I mean by low level champions, I mean, if you watch Makabu fight, watch how he got his championship and everything. He got a title at that weight class, but look who he's fought. Look at that weight class. That's not like he's going through the who's who or going through a gauntlet to get a championship or anything like that.
No, we're not talking about Plant. Plant is the exception. So, but we're talking about
Plant wasn't European
fighters that he fought. Greg, what's your take on Espinoza lying about guarantees starting only 3 years ago? So I don't know if he was lying. And I think what he was basically saying was that the trend of guarantees, not necessarily saying that the first guarantee ever started 3 years ago. I think he's talking about the trend of guarantees. But what are your thoughts on the fact that he was offered a guarantee and then he kept rejecting that guarantee? Won $15 million, and then they just offered him a higher back end with no guarantee.
S1 Dub is on us, man.
Again, we're not saying that he's saying that guarantees just started 3 years ago. He's talking about the trend of guarantees. That's what I took from what he said.
Yeah. No, S1 Dubs got on me about saying if you don't get the lights up, I'm gonna come fight you with the big gloves on, with my glasses on. Now he's telling you, don't touch your phone or the system until the show on Sunday.
Man, hey, I got a question for Easy Band Official. Are you subscribed to the channel? Because, like, man, I see you all the time, bruh. Like, either you're subscribed or we constantly pop up in your feed.
Or he just thinks we're just anti-blood.
Guys that are on the or folks that are on the live stream right now, man, don't forget to go subscribe to the channel. We're always dropping content. I'm pretty sure you guys will enjoy the content, whether you agree with us or disagree with us. Jason and I just like to get together and talk about the sport and give you guys different things to think about and just to interact with our channel and us as a whole. So make sure you go and subscribe. So that shows I'm supporting the channel, Greg. Yeah, it does. It does. I'm not saying that it doesn't. I'm just curious whether or not you're actually subscribed.
See, Brenda, here we go, Brenda. Here we go.
Get some back and some string. What does that mean? Oh, she's talking about
like
that.
The old school. Yeah.
Brenda, what? I thought you were gone. Hey, I'm gonna keep you
lying, right?
I want Brenda McDonald to call. I've been waiting for Brenda to call. She says she tried to call it. I don't think she really tried to call. I think she ducking the smoke. Brenda, do you shoot? Jason Williams said YouTube killed the feed. Yeah, man. Come on, Jay. We know it's all love for you, man. You part of the family now, Jay. Great shows. Got to make sure the phones are working on Sunday. Yeah, Jay, I think I got it now, man. I think I know what shit I thought I had it last time.
I guess we got some Canelo fans in the building. They talking about what these other dudes do is clout chase. I'm like, what did these other fighters that Canelo fought do to earn those fights? Boo Boo was a Mando. Charlo was a Mando. Canelo didn't fight either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But they're saying those guys need to do something else. What else do they need to do when they're Mando for the title?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really call it. I don't count a cloud chasing. Now, don't get me wrong; those guys want to get the biggest payday they can possibly get, right? And Canelo, so I'm not knocking that.
But I'm not knocking that either. But when you fight Ari Durham or Caleb Smith or Liam Smith or whatever his name was, you fighting them. They didn't do anything to earn the fight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess he's saying that they were champions, but Jamal Charlo was also a champion. Boo Boo Andre was also a champion. Yeah. They were all in and around the same weight class. So why didn't he fight them?
Exactly.
So I think there's
shit. Easy Bands agreed with us. Hey, we need to go get the line right now, bro. Easy Bands agreed with us on something.
We did it. We finally did it. We finally got Easy Bands to agree with us. Boy, this is a tremendous day.
Triple G, Lil G. Oh, Lord.
I mean, I don't think Charlo Montes de Piedra. You're not gonna get me to like salute Charlo. Like, but based off because I agree, I don't think Charlo has beaten the best at 160 and 168. Totally agree. I'm not gonna. I mean, his resume isn't immaculate or anything like that. But at the same time, he passes the eye test, and certainly he's a bigger challenge than Liam Smith. That's the point.
Mm-hmm. What did Billy Joe Saunders do to deserve the fight?
Yeah, who has he beat?
Who's he beat?
He beat nobody of any note. So that's the issue that we have with Canelo.
That's the problem. You're saying Benavidez, and Boo Boo didn't deserve the fight. What do these other guys do to deserve the fight?
Exactly. That's exactly right. So
So
hey, T Ward, I don't know how you missed it, man. We decided to go live, bro. I and just did our thing. So Jay, I didn't know you were still in the building, Jay. So man, I think we're gonna wrap this one up, Jay. We're gonna be back on Sunday, 4 p.m. And
Jay will.
maybe if we're inspired, maybe we'll do something in between. We will be dropping content tomorrow, guys. So be on the lookout for that. One of the videos we're going to drop tomorrow is in regards to Terence Crawford and Jerron Boots Ennis. I wonder if Terence Crawford, if he doesn't spin the block, or if Errol Spence doesn't spin the block, or if he does and they cannot make the fight, what is he going to do? Will he face one of these young lions, specifically Jerron Ennis? Would love to see the fight. So we're going to drop a video on that and a couple other ones as well.
Hey, you got T hot, man.
Hey, T. Hey, man, my bad, man. Hey, I had to run. I ran upstairs and had to get my girls ready for bed and get them washed up and the dishes washed and them fed and all that stuff. By the time I got back down here and set up, I had totally forgot about it, man. My bad, bro. My bad. But nah, right. Appreciate you guys. And again, thanks everybody for being in the chat. We really appreciate y'all. We were on T-Word's show. I was on T-Ward's show this past weekend, the Mike Chat podcast. Please go over there and subscribe. And Jay was on there, man. And like I told Jay, it's you guys that make the channel so great. Y'all challenge us where you feel like we're wrong. We challenge y'all where we feel like you guys are wrong. But it's very respectful. And even for the ones that come on and they're not as respectful, it's gonna be very hard for you to get blocked from this channel. I mean, seriously, even if you come in and call Jason and I complete morons and idiots. Because at the end of the day, our skin is very tough, and that stuff doesn't bother us. We just want people to come in and talk about the sport, and we don't take it personal. At the end of the day, it's not personal.
Not at all.
So I want to give a few shout outs, man.
We're not like Tim Bradley.
Exactly. or Blue Blood Sports TV. Ooh, I shouldn't have did that.
Jab.
Ooh, I took a shot. No, I'm just playing. Jason Williams, Brenda, of course, T Ward, Benaya, Jay Always, Chicken Talk.
Alpha Pound King.
Special love to Ray Sanders, the second, man. Appreciate the donation to the channel, man. That's love. Every bit helps us to keep this channel going and giving you guys.
That helps with tech support.
Man, fuck you. Hey, you know what?
Got him.
Hey, man. Everybody, even Easy Bands, man. Love, I appreciate you for coming through, man, and fucking with the channel, bro. Tunnel Vision all day. The League of Legacy. The League of Legacy actually helps to sponsor the show. Again, Black Father Figures. That's the League of Legacy. I gotta get, man. That's one thing I gotta do, man. Jay, you gotta start reminding me to get the link to the show and make sure we pin the link to the chat, because he's doing big things with that organization, man. It's about Black fathers, Black men, and being leaders in our communities and supporting our children and growing, raising our kids in the best way possible. And he has merch and things like that to support his organization. It's tied to AM Sports Media. So yeah, you guys need to support that, and we'll have the link next time. B-Dog, everybody, man, like I said, Jason, we really appreciate you guys for what you do and how you support the channel, man. We've been growing, and we really appreciate that. And Jason Williams, fuck you too, for supporting Jason and his comments. Hey, Jason,
I'm gonna keep on the comment for you.
So Jay, the reason why I don't have pictures on the wall is because I was trying to make a custom sign of the AM Sports Media logo, but I can't find anybody to do it. So I think I'm just gonna eventually just go ahead and put my pictures up that I have on my back wall. So Jason, that's the reason why I haven't put my pictures up, bro. All right, man. No worries, man. So I think that's all we got, Jason, man. See you guys on Sunday, 4 p.m. start. Make sure you guys come and mess with us, man. We're gonna be talking about this boxing. And until next time, guys. Peace. Love.